I love how this concept art has the place filled up with like a ton of purple fog / mist. And I'm not seeing that here. They are not blitzed out or drugged out. Is Giatta here? She is actually. Oh wow.
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest.
I met with Eora.
I hope you had an enlightening visit at the corpse farm. Elia is one of my favorite neighbors, second only to Kulichi. When her best farmhand got stuck up a tree, I got him down in one piece. Well, several pieces.
That could be put back
I've
together.
always looked up to her.
I had a very impolite exchange with Yvette and Remy.
I hate to admit it, but I saw that one coming. Those two don't get out much. When Ignacy took away their research funding, I pulled some strings to get it back. He told me I was a fool, but they'll prove him wrong someday. I have faith. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
I don't think you would be doing most of the things I would do.
Hello. Welcome to my fine establishment, amica.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this merchant.
Welcome back. Care to...
Lockpicks. At the very least, we're making some decent money. If I hadn't purchased this purple arquebus, we'd be at like 22,000, 23,000 money, which is kind of insane.
For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giatta.
Well, I got your machine running. Now tell me about the Dream Scourge.
With any luck, I can tell you a great deal. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul.
Oh boy.
I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood.
I continue looking at the sun. I wash my hands in the sea and leave.
All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum.
Clock.
Chrysalis.
Transformation.
A spark ignites a flame. An idea ignites a war.
Okay.
Hello? You still with me?
Sorry, that was the voice in my head. The entity tethered to my soul.
Good. We're getting somewhere. Hey, let's go over your results. Your soul is like a piece of sea glass. All the edges are smoothed down. Quite beautiful, really. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold.
Is that like... Was this like a personality test? Could I have gotten a different result? The Watcher in Parodies told me there's a thorn in my soul.
Not to besmirch a colleague, but Watchers aren't the most reliable sources. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting.
I need to trace it back to its source.
That would be closer to Giatta's area of expertise. I'm sure she'd love to give you a look. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again.
You're welcome.
But you came for Giatta's theory of the dream scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land, diverted, like the flow of a river.
That essence has to go somewhere.
Exactly. And if I know essence, it can't have gone too far. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after.
Wow.
As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giatta my fondest regards.
Yeah, that was the whole lot of nothing.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He lost me when he started talking about souls. What did I miss?
Honestly, you didn't miss much. You basically just told us to keep looking around, find where the essence is going, and that it couldn't have gone too far. So it has to be within, like, the nearby area or something.
Something the matter? I hope none of my colleagues scared you off.
Well, I consulted with Monto Pastor.
And you got his machine up and running. That's what I call progress. I helped Monto after his wife died. She was brilliant, and he took the loss hard. I'm going to miss him. Sounds like you've met with everyone. We're ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest?
The animances are unhinged, unregulated, and too dangerous to be left alone. No, okay. We need a Pillar of Adra. It might be able to connect the Dream Scourge to what's happening in the Living Lands.
Makes sense. You won't find a better source of energy. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi.
Wait, what? Are we studying the Dream Scourge or planning a heist?
Under the circumstances, the two are not so different. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work.
Right. Well, I hope their expertise was helpful as well.
Absolutely. I wanted to see the Dream Scourge through different perspectives. Thanks to you, I have. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus.
Phantasmal focus?
Think of it as a spiritual tuning fork, or a dowsing rod. It has many functions, some more obvious than others. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I can't blame you for avoiding a place like that.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there.
What's down there?
Terrible mistake. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
If that's where her parents died, I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting.
The basement of an animancer I just met. Right, feels great.
Maybe they're alive down there. As like zombies, revenants. It's not really alive.
Something's not right here. Stay ready.
Haven from the blight. Who grows here?
The many faces of Barath, Otter Castell's will. To Giatta, I leave my mother's amulet, the only piece of the Valian Republics I took from home. My one condition is that she wear it as a reminder that we all come from somewhere. May she find comfort in a chain that binds the present to the past. I leave her also the house, the laboratory, and our inventions. Yes, all of them, with no conditions or expectations to weigh her down. Forgive us. Otter insists that I write something down in case the worst should come to pass. But what inheritance do I have to offer? What legacy do I leave? I took no possessions from the homeland. I own nothing but my ambition and my mistakes. The ink is blotched, as if someone tapped their quill on the parchment several times before continuing. To Giatta, I leave my unshakable resolve, the determination to see her plans through to the bitter end, and the presence of mind to remember what is important. Let her have all of my best qualities. Should the experiment fail, I won't need them anymore. Not where I'm going. The many faces of Barath. How fitting that we know the god of cycles, doorways, mortality, and inevitability as Barath, while the Valians know this very same god as Serono. For if nothing else, Barath teaches us that duality exists in all things. There is life in death, and death in life. Embrace this duality, and you honor Barath. In the ruins, Air Glanfith, Barath is depicted in the form of two semi-skeletal figures, one male, one female. Benun e Anku and Anku e Benun, literally life in death and death in life in the Glanfathan tongue. Male and female, inside and out, life and death. We often think of Barath by imagining two sides of coin, or the two endpoints of a journey. It is said that Barath has the most petitioners of every god, and this likely true. Who amongst us has not prayed for the cycle to hiccup? Who has not, in a moment of sadness, yelled at Barath to make an exception for our fallen loved ones? Barath may not rescue our loved ones, but it answers our prayers in its own divine way. Barath is the god that makes life end in death, and is also the god that makes death end in life. Barath, Serono, Bunin Bunin I Anku, Anku I Bunun. Whichever of the many names you prefer to use deserves our prayers, for it has given us the promise of life's eternal renewal. That has me worried that this is going to be an experiment that the god of death is tied to. Arturo Castell's journal. Cordella is right, of course. We could refine the phantasmal focus for the rest of our lives, or we could put it to good use. So why do I have such doubts? Our plan has always been to tinker with the natural order, but nature is not orderly in the living lands. If we poke too hard at nature, who's to say something else won't poke back at us? I mean, it didn't look like it poked back too hard. The basement's relatively intact. Obviously, we're not in the room the experiment happened in, but like right around the corner, seems pretty good. That one were... We'll leave for the people to pause and read. Concerned letter. My friends, you spent too much time in the privacy of your lab. I knew that words were exchanged, more than one ego was bruised after that incident at the workshop, but the damage is superficial. Our community is ready to welcome you back with open arms. For the moment, I am seeing to Giatta's education, but I urge you to give her the attention she deserves. She's a promising young woman in a difficult and influential time of her life, and she needs the counsel of her family now more than ever. Kilichi. What if they said no, actually? We're gonna get ourselves turned into a tree.
I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be plants.
Oh.
What a horrific fate.
They look like GaLm.
A life of peace.
I wonder if they're alive in there. All these law books on the gods. Alright. Artur has been quiet lately, so I know he's worried about the experiment. He thinks the island will object to our interference, as if such a thing were possible. Clearly our daughter is cut from my side of the family. I can't wait to teach her everything we've learned. With any luck, Giatta will be as wild and audacious as the forces at play around her. Maybe not as wild. This is kind of nuts. Hello? Are you alive in there? Worried scribblings. The device should not work, and yet it does. Therein lies the problem. Theory and reality are in conflict, and to succeed without comprehension is worse than failure. I have learned nothing, and can assume nothing about the limitations of this invention, which frightens me almost as much as Cordella's insistence that we keep going. All I know is that the device is tapped into something. I believed it was the essence of the living lands. What if I'm wrong? What if it's... Several paragraphs have been violently scoured from the page. Have we transgressed so far into the unknowable that we are blind to the grave we dug ourselves? I must make preparations for Giatta's future. The dad really was just like, I think we're about to get ourselves killed, but we sully on. Auteur, do you have everything you need? After Cordella's outburst at the workshop, they say she retreated into her private lab, which is perfectly fine, but I worry about you and little Giatta. Let me know if you need anything, even if it's just to talk. I understand your research has made some ambitious strides. Good for both of you. When you are ready to surface again, we have a game of Hazatoha to finish. I'll keep the pieces warm. Maxim Vidaro, Governor of Fior, Mess Averno. Are they gonna...
We can leave now, right?
Poor Giatta. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
Yeah, being one floor above your dead parents is kind of... grim. Yeah, they might not even be full dead in there. Who knows?
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giatta's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods, I can't believe this.
I hope they're dead in there. It would be an awful fate if they've been alive this entire time, stuck as stationary tree statues. Not able to see or interact with the world, or maybe they could see and just not interact, which is also, I think, awful.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there?
Good gods, where else would they be? I wouldn't phrase it like this. I want to tell her, like, yeah, I did see them. And then, like, maybe chime in with, like, a little bit of, like, you know, it's kind of beautiful in a way. But fuck it, I saw them. The plant corpses were pretty hard to miss.
I'm sorry. For what it's worth, I don't think you were in any danger. All that's really down there is an unhappy memory. One that keeps on growing.
Do you want to talk about it?
My mother had an idea about how to use the essence of the living lands, and it destroyed her. My father, our family.
People are too quick to risk everything for an ideal. I'm sorry it didn't work out for your family.
So I swore an oath. No one could enter the lab until I understood what happened.
Until today, so you know what happened?
I'm on the right track to figuring it out, which is almost as good. Enough about me. Let's worry about you for a change. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way.
You want to use that thing as a weapon?
Don't worry. It's more durable than it looks. Kind of like me. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar. And I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Fior. There should be some equipment waiting for us.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't go there immediately. What is an animancy equipment doing in some old ruin?
We used it to study the Adra pillar. Then some priests moved in and took offense at our work. I hope they haven't tampered with the equipment, or this will be a very short experiment.
I guess let's be off.
Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fior. No telling how long we'll be gone. I almost forgot. Someone gave me a letter for you. They said it was for the envoy's eyes alone.
You read it, didn't you?
I may have glanced at the handwriting. Don't worry, your secrets are safe. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety.
Oh, okay, so she's actually our third companion. Well, I guess I'll send Kai back.
Ah, finally, some time to rest my feet.
Once we're all together, we should trade ghost stories. Best way to get acquainted. In the meantime, let's be off.
Cool. Giatta uses animancy to understand the world around her. While the science of souls remains controversial, she believes the untapped essence of the living lands can and should be put to good use. She wants to prove her convictions by supporting the party in battle. Armed with the phantasmal focus, she draws on the spiritual currents of the living lands to heal and defend her friends. Alright. Her ability is Purification. Giatta calls forth an invigorating wave of energy that heals allies by 25% of their maximum health. Spectral Jolt. Order Giatta to empower and activate essence generators. Oh, so she can just do that for free. That's kind of nice. Yeah, I wasn't fully sure if she was going to end up being our companion. It got implied a bunch that she would end up at our camp, but there's been plenty of games where, like, oh, somebody joins your camp but isn't actually in your, like, as a companion. They're just there to, like, talk to you
Hello.
and
Welcome to my fine
give their opinions on things going on. To my friends and colleagues, I won't be needing this equipment anymore. Consider it a donation to the workshop. Use it to fight the Dream Scourge if you can, or to expand the horizons of animancy if you can't. Whatever you do, I know it won't go to waste. I hope that one day we can work together again. The dream of Fior Messaverno lives in us, not in our bureaucrats. She said she wanted to spend some time in Fior, but I don't really know what there is to do, really. Let me check real quick, though. Okay, she's got 4 points on standby. Barrier. Grants all allies a shield that provides temporary health for 20 seconds. While barrier is active, Gianna cannot be hit and knocks melee attackers back. That's kind of okay. Acceleration increases the move speed and attack speed of all allies for 15 seconds. Okay, I like that. Allies empowered by acceleration use their speed to gain 15% damage reduction. Increase the duration of acceleration by 10 seconds. Any abilities activated while acceleration is active will have their cooldowns reduced by 50%. Whew. That's kind of crazy. So in terms of who I want like in my party from the 3 people we have currently, I do want Kai back. I love Kai. I love having basically Garrus back. Marius is chill, he's alright, but his abilities are just kind of okay. for my playstyle. Let's do... We're gonna grab acceleration. Then I'm gonna increase the duration. Reconstruction grants temporary health to allies that are already at maximum health. Reconstruction revives incapacitated allies when Giatta kills an enemy. That one sort of sounds useful, but I don't know how many kills she's gonna get. A lot of times I'm the one that finishes off enemies. I'm gonna go for time shift and then grab barrier. And then basically anytime I get into a fight, I can super speed myself up.
Than a momentary distraction.
You are so frustrating. No wonder I'm getting all the attention.
My dear, any attention you're getting is transient at best.
Wow, that's
You
rude.
should know about transient attention, since that's all you're capable of.
I forgot how anti-intellectual and childish you can be.
As if I could forget your frigid detachment, Sinia.
You are a child, Isalia. You tour outside your stratum. Leave such things to those who deserve them.
I have a bad feeling this is about a love affair.
Regardless, we do not need the opinions of an outsider.
On the contrary, a third-party perspective could give us a clarity we currently lack.
Well then, my colleague and I have both obtained the attentions of the same lover, despite obvious differences in quality.
There is no way this shrew could have won his heart without trickery. I say she should step aside.
Okay, I don't think this man deserves either of you. No, alright, look, tell me, what's your story? What do you got?
Our common beau and I became close while collaborating on a project. Our relationship grew naturally from there.
Your relationship is all about work and research. No way his heart is in it.
I have proven myself a match for him intellectually. A rare treat in these environs.
And what about you, Isalia?
We met at the tavern, both recovering from a stressful day. We made each other laugh, and he has courted me ever since.
Your relationship is based entirely on frivolity and drunkenness. There's no true trust or respect in it.
We can be ourselves around each other. That's a luxury in our community.
Okay, well, this isn't really, this really isn't enough to go on. I kind of want to know what the hell the dude thinks. We'll go for 2.
Thank you. Clearly someone understands there's more to life than work and study.
Very well. I shall back down for now, but I will be there when the gentleman tires of your frivolity.
She actually took that pretty well.
Not to say I told you so, but, well...
You know nothing of romance.
Sorry, I don't know. You didn't really say anything about how he was courting you. I haven't done her mission yet. I can't talk to her.
Rejuvenate and revitalize your personal essence. Your soul knows what it wants, and what it wants is a healing crystal.
They do such lovely work here, don't they?
Hang on. I know you from Solace, right?
I'm afraid I don't know who you are, just as you don't know who I am.
You're blessed ain't mad. I remember you. I got you.
So, we understand each other then. I never thought the world of animancy could be so varied and fascinating. I can make use of so much of this equipment.
So you're Pargrund? I heard your people don't travel outside of Galawain's tusks.
Yeah, I suppose it's a bit unusual to see one of my people about. But I'm here on important business. If you see anyone else from Sole's Keep, just do me a favor and don't tell them you saw me.
Okay, I'll keep your secret.
Thank you. I wouldn't want my fellow wardens to misunderstand.
But we still don't even know why you're here.
You know what I mean. And Marius, it was good to see you. May you find all you're looking for and more. What I'm doing is best for the Hargrunen, even if they don't see that yet.
I wasn't expecting to actually get like a conversation there. Sometimes NPCs are just kind of standing around and they give you like one or two lines. Oh!
Isn't my new vase just beautiful?
Yatsli!
Beautiful indeed. Its very presence brings out the color of your eyes. But is it not too similar to the other artifacts you've collected over the years?
The artifacts have been here longer than you, my love. And here, they'll stay.
Ooh, she's got you there.
Did you still need something, dearie?
Why do you live here with Kalichi?
Well, when a man and a woman love each other very much...
That's probably enough detail for now. I am sure the envoy can use their imagination.
Oh, I couldn't help myself. The joke was right there, my love. The short answer is that I moved in here with Quilici several decades ago, and he's yet to tire of me.
Aw.
Ugh, I could never grow tired of you, but I do often grow tired with you. The distinction is important.
Oh my god. I'll leave you to your vices.
Music to my ears. We'll speak later then.
What about you, Kalichi?
I'm afraid we missed introducing ourselves in the middle of all the squabbling. I'm Pere Quilici, Fior's senior-most animancer. My apologies for that little display earlier.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is mine. I met my fair share of godlike Invalia, but they are a rare sight in Fior. But you're different than those I've encountered. Perhaps your appearance here is not a coincidence.
One could say it's even ordained by the gods. May fate be kind to us both.
Indeed. Emerald Stair is in sore need of good fortune these days. The gods do not touch a soul lightly. You are wise to enlist Giatta's help. She's my brightest pupil and has yet to be jaded by experience.
Don't give me too much credit. I'm getting pretty cynical in my old age.
To be honest, I don't know what Fior would be without you. Now, I must return to my ruminations. Without Vidarro's support, we must reassess our goals. It was a pleasure, godlike.
Don't ruminate too hard. Also, be sure to take your morning walk and use the handrails.
I don't trust him.
Yeah, old man.
Talks too much.
She is brave,
Says too
as
little.
always, but on the inside, I fear there is something missing, or perhaps broken beyond repair.
Damn.
Oh, the poor dear. I can't believe Vidarro wouldn't listen. Not even to such a strong, smart, handsome man speaking sense.
Our governor is a fool. You are the only authority to whom I answer.
Alright, I'm gonna leave you two to keep on flirting with each other. See if there's anybody else around who I might be able to get a quest from or something before we leave. You!
Ah, a pleasure to share your company again, traveler.
I was hoping he would have something to say about maybe starting a relation with this young lady over here.
only carry the freshest herbs, mind you, plucked from the best sources.
How's business going?
5 summers ago, business was thriving. But now charlatans are selling crystals and essence enlargers in the streets. Add rumors of Dream Scourge and everyone is buying from these swindlers. At least you've come in.
Well, ignore them. Your customers will return eventually.
I'm not so sure. Fior isn't what it used to be. Everyone's looking for cheap solutions to difficult problems. At least I don't have to convince you.
I have already bought some stuff from you. All right. I guess we'll make our way to Nakutetic. I will use the camp over here first. See what they have to say. And maybe see if I have any upgrades on standby. So one thing I want, the reason why I sent Kai back is Kai gave us a stat boost eventually. And I feel like all of the companions are gonna have, like, they're gonna give you that. So I want to get whatever I can get from Marius, and then I'll probably replace him with Kai or whatever other companion we might get. I don't think we'll get 2 companions in one. Why'd my sound go out? Okay, that was scary. I don't think we're gonna get 2 companions in this area, though we did technically get 2 companions in the first place. Dawnshore. Giatta.
Thank you again for letting me join you. An animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an animancer feels different without Fior Messiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone.
Well, I think you're gonna enjoy working for yourself.
It'll take some getting used to, that's for sure. At least now I have a place I can call my own.
Yes, the camps that we... the camps that we're always moving across. I'll smuggle you back into Fior anytime you feel homesick.
Such a troublemaker. But a thoughtful one. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous?
Absolutely, yes. Probably, though not through any fault of ours.
A little bit of trouble in moderation can be good for the soul. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so, anyway.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the Emerald Stair.
Go on, then. I'm listening.
I'd like to learn more about Fior Messiverno.
Ah, you want a story? Very well. Settle in. It all started about 50 years ago, in the great city of Spirento. A young nobleman by the name of Maxim Vidaro sought to inherit a distinguished government position.
Would he be the governor's father?
Unfortunately, yes. A distant cousin cheated Maxim out of the title. He was devastated, his political future uncertain. No one lifted a finger to help. Not the banks, not the merchants, or the politicians. So, Maxim did what Valians do best.
He challenged his cousin to a duel?
Something like that. Maxim plotted his revenge. They say he prayed to Scan, the effigy, god of rebellion and defiance, to ask for a blessing. And Scan answered. Take their best and brightest, their heirs, their scholars, their futures, to the far side of the world, never to return. And Maxim did just that. He gathered a following and left the Valian republics, giving thanks to his dark god.
I'm just thinking about how I've been saying it Skyin, but it's Scan. So he founded an animancy commune in the Living Lands.
We prefer to call it an intellectual haven of free thinkers. But it's true that most of us are animancers. Spirento was full of animancers, many of them in debt. And Maxim was a wealthy patron. They needed each other. So the animancers followed Maxim all the way out here, including my parents, Quilici, and others around town. At the time, this place was an animancer's dream. No oversight, limited government, and soil rich with essence. 40 years later, Maxim vanished. They say the effigy came to collect his soul. Nonsense, of course. His son has been in charge ever since. For better or worse.
Yeah, he's not quite living up to his father's example.
His father had the advantages of growing up in Valian society. So did mine. He and I might squabble in public from time to time, but we're both just figuring it all out as we go. Thanks for listening. We should do this again.
I love a good ghost story. Just not the dreams I have afterwards.
Hadn't heard all that before. Probably a lesson or two in there.
One of these days you'll have to tell me an Adiran ghost story. You learn a lot about people by what scares them.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. But for now, alright, we got our...
Not before I've done some reading.
Conversation with you. She has another thing, but we'll talk to Marius first.
Envoy? Hard to imagine what Giatta's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject.
He always does that. What do you think about the Emerald Stair?
Ask away.
Tell me about Emerald Stair in general.
I'll be honest. It has changed a lot since I was last here, which wasn't that long ago. It's always been thick forests and crawling vines, but now it's like the forest has had enough and is ready to wipe us all out. That said, at least it's fertile. And you can still eat most of the vegetation here, though I wouldn't touch the mushrooms. Especially the ones that move around on their own.
Oh yeah, I definitely wasn't planning on eating any mushrooms anyways. Heard anything interesting out here?
There is something big in the southeast of the region. Most hunters say to stay away from there.
Do you have any tips for surviving in the Emerald Stair?
Most of this is probably old information for you, but you asked. Less urgency for shelter here. You can find shrubs to block the wind or tree cover to protect from rain. There's also plenty of food around too, if you know where to look. Rule of thumb, if it's red, don't eat it. Or if it makes you itch. There's also just about any kind of game you can imagine. Just make sure whatever you catch doesn't have mushrooms growing out of its face. Oh, and be careful when you leave the roads. You never know when that deer you killed was some Delmgon's favorite pet.
Jesus. Alright.
Right, changing the subject.
That's enough for now.
Thanks for talking.
Yeah.
Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsli reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground.
I mean, I don't know if the godless knew about anyone. I couldn't ignore a little old lady in distress.
I'm sure she appreciates the help, though she has a funny way of showing it. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsli stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days, she's going to change the world, shake things up, and I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again.
Alright, well, that's enough for now.
Not before I've done some reading.
Wow, look at this view. Nakuterik.
I hope no one minds. I made myself at home.
Don't mind at all. It's good to have you. Tell us a bit about yourself, Giatta.
Let's see. A few things about me. I enjoy long conversations, and my favorite season is autumn. Apparently, I also snore, which annoys some people.
So do I. Glad it won't just be me now. We should pitch our tents on either side of Marius. The drone really helps him sleep.
Right, that's me. And the first rule of camp is never listen to Kai. He's a blessed Nimdude of the highest order.
If anyone needs their soul tinkered on, don't hesitate to ask. I'm rather good with souls.
I'll take your word.
I don't know if anyone needs their souls messed with at all, but I guess, we'll take the heals at the very least. Jesus. Okay. Can I maybe get a little bit more damage out? I'll make 4 of these. Oh, they show maximum of 17 can be crafted. I didn't see that before. Nice. See, I need 5 petrified wood branches, 4 of these, so we'll make 3. And 5. Oh. I thought I had an add myths word. I actually needed 1 more. Oh, you know what? I didn't realize it. I thought there was 5 overall levels. The last time I was thinking about this off stream, there's only 4. So we're actually not that far away from maxing out one of these, though I don't imagine we're getting any of the materials of this anytime soon. I could get another upgrade. I can make my gun amazing, but I shan't. Still hoping for the best. Still hoping I can find a unique arquebus. It's insane I haven't found one yet. Like, at all. Not even to, like, sit there and go, I don't want that one. Do I have armor? Nope, we're good. I probably should empty this out. Just a little bit. Alright. That is good enough. Let us get rest. Oh, actually. What are the outfits? Oh my god. This is not a look I was expecting. She looks like she could serve in an old-timey British naval force. And this one just makes her look like an assassin. We'll keep her default look for now. And we'll go for the obsidian look for Marius.
I wish you could have seen Emerald Stair in better times.
What was it like? I've only passed through a few times over the years.
The evenings were cool. Fish leaped into our nets. Emerald Stair was everything.
Pleasant and abundant. Sounds like the fables old trenchers used to tell about Deadfire. Paradise.
Paradise, until something goes terribly, terribly wrong. Oh. Okay. Now every time I leave the camp, I can choose the companions from here. A small little annoyance, but acceptable.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death.
No, I don't think so. You call that life? I doubt Giatta thinks her parents are still alive in any way that matters to her.
The lake dries. Prune the bellflowers. Why should anything wilt? Endless spring. They breathe. They flower. They will never fade.
Yeah, I don't really... Well, okay, do you think there's a way to turn them back into people?
Apple into seed. We think not. They have blossomed now. They sing in peace. Was it not worth the change?
I don't think so. No. We can't decide for others. They should always have a choice.
Do we not? The bear would have spent its days in the wood. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells.
I think you just have a bias to nature. Like, yeah, sure, it's cute that they have those forms, but like, it'd be the same thing as if we just let them rot in the ground and then their nutrients made stuff grow around them. Like, that's basically all it is. But I don't like that I'm limited to the two options here. I'll just say I suppose they live on in some form.
More than alive. No suffering. No end.
But there's also no living there.
Sleep now. Dream of beauty and new life. We will speak soon.
I really didn't like this conversation. I can't really trust my god entity that much. Might have a little bit too much focus on like, ooh, nature. I have to wonder how it's perceiving the whole world, because like it looks like the Dream Scourge is like genuinely bad. And wouldn't that also be like someone moving on to like another form of life? A new form? Or is it only good when they turn into like tree statues?
One moment.